Welcome, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today on behalf of the Women Automotive Network, hosting another inspirational and inspiring leadership interview. Today, Kayla Hardin is with me, and it's a great joy and pleasure to have you here from Cox Automotive, and I'm very excited and looking forward to your experiences that you're willing to share with us. Thank you very much for that. My name is Haug. I'm an executive coach and researcher in the areas of power, leadership, and gender diversity. And my focus is on careers, strategic career development, and that's why I'm really looking forward to your story. So it would be awfully nice if you could kind of like share a little bit who you are, where you are right now. And I have the first question that I would jump in and ask you: why did you join the Women Automotive Network, and what impact do you hope it makes?
Yeah, Mona, thank you so much for having me. I'm very thankful to be able to participate in this today. So regarding myself and where I have come from, I've been in the automotive industry for as long as I've been legal to work. So I feel like I kind of fell into it on the banking side at the ripe age of 18, absolutely fell in love with it and the people within. And I have been in it ever since. And so I do sit today within the Cox Automotive leadership team, and very thankful to be a part of that as well. So regarding the question on why I wanted to join the Women's Automotive Network and what impact I want to make, that there's so much that I can go into that there. So we do have internal opportunities within Cox Automotive to partake in things like this, but this one specifically is geared towards women. And it's like-minded women that I can join and be a part of, that not only I can challenge them to think outside the box and how they're going to grow their career, but I also have a safe place where I can be challenged too and be vulnerable and ask questions and grow with other women around me that are like-minded. So
that sounds great.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, because I'm not coming from the automotive industry, I'm a researcher in a totally different area. What fascinates you about cars, and when did it start? Like from childhood or?
Oh, from childhood. Yeah. I remember my dad working in the garage on his 1971 Chevy. He had a Model A that he had a dream of rebuilding. And the thing that fascinates me about cars is it's like a walking business card. It is, you have so many options and you can really let your personality shine on what you like and the things that you are interested in, because there's one for everyone and not all of them are the same. And I really, really enjoy the 1970 American muscle car into the 2022 small little sports car zipping around the city. So I love all of them.
That's just incredible. Yeah. I can hear your passion about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely love them. Love them.
So, I mean, if I asked you, is there like kind of like an inspirational woman or someone, like a role model, a female manager somewhere, who would it be? And especially, why would you say that she's inspirational to you?
Yeah. So my inspiration actually has always been my mother. So even prior to coming into the automotive industry, she was the one that pushed me to challenge myself to get there. She has overcome so much in her life, and she actually showed me from a young age, it's not the challenges that happen to you, it's what are you going to do about that? Mm-hmm. And watching them overcome that kind of helped me parlay into my career into the automotive industry. So she's been a huge inspiration in my life and still continues to be. So not my direct boss, but sometimes she still thinks she is. So
oh, that's great. And does she know that she is your inspirational woman? Did you tell her?
I hope so. I probably don't do it enough. Her and I are a lot alike, and we have very strong personalities. And so I could probably do a better job at telling her how much I look up to her. So.
Okay, since you're in the automotive industry, my research area, my PhD, the dissertation project that I've taken was focused in the automotive industry. And I mean, I've been asking lots of female managers about the barriers, the catalysts and the barriers on their career path. So I'd be very interested in your personal kind of like viewpoint of the barriers for women into top leadership positions in the automotive industry.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. And giving some thought into that, you know, I would say there's two that come to mind. The first one has always been, and really reflecting, is myself, and how I view myself, or not feeling confident enough to go after a role or go after a seat at the table to lead people. Coming into yourself and learning how to build that confidence has been a mind-boggling experience for me. And I've learned people want to hear from you. Quite frankly, people need to hear from you. That's what they desire. And the more that you learn to speak up and build that confidence, the more it's like, wow, I am in my own way, right? I haven't been around many people that haven't wanted to hear at least my opinion and where I've been. So kind of getting out of my own way has been a barrier for me. And the second barrier that I have faced personally, that I'm sure I'm not in the minority there, is motherhood. So I was a young mother, teenage mother at a very young age. And I, again, told you I got in the automotive industry at 18. So having a child and growing up together in the business and learning, I want to do more, I can do more. However, moms have always been in the home. And having a partner that travels as well. And how do you then have that support? And mom guilt is a real thing. I have been challenged with that myself. And I have learned to show my daughter, I have more than one daughter, but my firstborn daughter, is you can have it all. You can be a great mom. You can travel for your job. You lean on your support system around you, and you can grow from that. So those are the two barriers that I would say that I have learned to overcome and sometimes still face. So
thank you very much. So I was wondering, when you're saying that, how did you cope with it? I mean, you know, with the whole thing, for how many years until you finally realize, okay, I can do it?
You know, I try to make the best of the circumstances. So when I do travel, and obviously through COVID, it's slowed down a lot, right? But the first thing that I've learned to cope with is I joined a company that supports it. That's okay with, we're okay with you working remote and traveling, and sometimes your children are going to be home for you. We care about the people first, and then learning more about, let's talk about getting the job done, right? So finding the right company to work with, and also being able to take the time when I'm at home and being more intentional with my children and saying, you know, I'm going to be gone for 3 sleeps this week. However, I'm going to be home, and these are the things that we're going to look forward to. And luckily, technology, if you see us today, we're FaceTiming, we're on Zoom, we're doing all the things. And so technology has been a blessing to me to stay connected with the kiddos while I'm gone. So.
Perfect. So I can align with a lot of things from what you're saying with the dissertation project, even technology point. So if you look back at your life in hindsight, so what would you be saying was the biggest challenge that you had to overcome, kind of like for yourself?
You know, that's a very good question as well. I could name several. I could name the growing up in the inner city. I could talk through family challenges growing up as a young mother, and then a single mother myself, trying to get through school. But quite frankly, through all of that, it kind of goes back to the initial answer that I gave you a little while ago, is overcoming myself and my negative mindset that I used to have supersedes all of the challenges that I have faced in my life, because I feel that the vast majority of women have faced a lot of the same things that I have in their lives. It's, what do we do about that? How do we understand that it's okay to fail? It's okay to be a young mom. It's okay to struggle through school while you're working and trying to raise a family and balancing all those things, what's not okay is becoming or staying a victim of the circumstances that you've been put into and overcoming them, you know, and moving out of the way and saying, I deserve a seat at the table and I'm here for that. And you're going to face rejection, but you can grow through it. And so I think I'm learning to overcome myself, really.
So from your response, I'd say this leads right into the next question, actually.
Oh, good.
I've already heard a lot, but I want you to kind of like answer that. If I asked you to describe your personality, the main character traits that kind of like describe you, you know, I mean, if you kind of think of what your friends, what your colleagues have given you feedback, kind of like, what is it that you will be saying?
I hope to leave a mark or an impression that I'm extremely resilient and resourceful. There's always a way to accomplish your task or your dreams or what you're looking to do with your life, whether it be within your job or your personal circumstances. Be resilient and find a way to overcome it. And so I would hope they would say I was resilient. Hopefully they think I'm a little funny too sometimes.
I think there's even more to it, right? By listening to your reply regarding the last question, think about it. There's overcoming challenges, having a role model, kind of like keeping on going, even though it's tough and it's challenging, requires a lot of stamina and perseverance. So I think from the short impression and listening to your story, I think that's the one thing that if you have made it to this position where you are right now, you have learned not just to be resilient, but to focus and to be stubborn, focus on your objectives and kind of like, this is what I want, you know? So,
that's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah,
it's great to listen to you. So listening to you, the next question would be then, okay, so you have all these challenges, male-dominated area. You recommend to look at a company that is kind of like supporting women. What would you be saying? What strengthens you personally? I mean, where do you get your strength from? It's like a battery, the recharging of your personal battery.
Yeah. I hate to keep, I guess I don't hate to keep referencing, but I have to go back to before I met my firstborn daughter. So I'm lucky enough to have 3 daughters and a son, but my first child she's a girl. And before I met her, I would say, I don't think I lacked drive or ambition, but I didn't know where to focus it. And I don't think I put it in the right places, right? I was kind of all over the place. Meeting her, and she really strengthens my personality and she brings things out in me and she challenges me. She's 11. And so learning to adapt with her and overcome things. I allow her to, quite frankly, she's allowed to have her own opinion. She's allowed to come to me and say, Mom, this is what I like. This is what I don't. And that, quite frankly, parlays into the way that I lead teams. Just because I am a leadership, I'm in a leadership position within the business, and I will most likely get the final say in what happens. However, my team, we get a seat at the table. We need to talk through some things, especially if that's an option, because I want to understand. I believe leading with empathy and getting a vast understanding of what's happening around, and becoming a mother to a very strong personality has helped me very early in my life to adapt and overcome adversity, for sure.
I can relate to that. Just, strong daughter myself. So
yes.
Yeah. So looking at your career, I would like to know, what is it that you would recommend other women kind of like climbing up the career ladder, on the pathway to top positions? What is it that you would recommend to them, women within the automotive industry?
Oh, how much time do we have? I would say, go for it. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Lean into your intuition. Understand that people, again, they want to hear from you. They want to hear your story. They want to know, like, you may not have come from ideal circumstances, or you may have not gotten there the same way as the person sitting next to you at that table, rather it be male or female. But you do have the opportunity, and you just have to keep going. Second guessing yourself and getting in your own head is normal. We're human, right? We have those tendencies, but move out of the way, and you will be blown away at the things that you can accomplish. I don't want anyone to give up on their dreams. Keep going. Don't stop. You have a seat at the table.
So you mentioned kind of like self-doubts, or kind of like this, negative thoughts. What happens in between from kind of like, so keeping on going and kind of like these self-doubts, what helps you in between to come from one place to the other?
A lot of affirmations, talking through, reaffirming the way that you feel, reaching out to others that believe in you. Get yourself a mentor and talk through what you're feeling. And that's Women's Automotive Network, and they offer the mentoring, right? So you can get a different perspective on, I don't have to live in that headspace. I can actually take that and do something with it in a positive manner, and actually getting to the other side. And it's the small wins first. It's getting the affirmations of feeling powerful, feeling like you can do it. And then before you know it, that space that you referenced, it actually comes far and fewer in between. And the gap gets smaller, to where, you're still going to be challenged with those thoughts, but it's not going to be as often. And it is something that you can change. It's not permanent. It doesn't have to be.
I love that. I absolutely love that. It's mindset coaching, and I love that. Thank you. That's really powerful and inspiring. So my last question would be, in one word, if you kind of like look at current opportunities for women in the automotive industry, how would you describe that? What is the opportunity? What a trend?
One word?
Yeah.
Limitless. I absolutely feel that it's there to be had, and it's ours for the taking. And again, you have the opportunity. The sky is the limit. Take it. Like, I run as fast as you can after it, because it's there. So I know I am. I'll see you at the top.
So it sounds like there's no better time than now for women in the automotive industry.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing that I love more, getting on a call with a client, with executive leadership and my team, and all the faces on the call, we're just all women. It's like, wow, look at that. It's so fun. It's so fun to do. So yeah, definitely limitless. Sky's the limit.
So thank you so much, Kayla, for a wonderful, inspiring interview for the Women Automotive Network. I'm delighted to have met you, to have had the chance of listening to you and your story. And
thank you.
I want to say thank you for your time, for your willingness, sharing all your experiences with us.
Mona, thank you so much. I appreciate your time today as well.